Just when the unrepentant Duchess of Sussex appeared poised to solidify her rebranded posture as America's celebrated princess of woke victimhood following her televised coronation boycott theatrics, a shattering new scandal has blown open, potentially exposing Meghan Markle's most sordid and hypocritical infidelities right under Prince Harry's nose. According to sources ranging from immediate Montecito neighbors to members of the couple's inner domestic staff, Markle has been indulging in a lurid extramarital love affair for nearly 2 years with an outrageously wealthy older paramour, betraying her husband's trust from inside their taxpayer-subsidized California compound. The whispers surrounding Meghan's secret rendezvous with the still unnamed multi-billionaire first began circulating nearly 18 months ago, as eagle-eyed locals suspiciously noted an unfamiliar vintage Rolls-Royce Phantom frequently idling curbside during late-night hours outside the couple's $14.7 million estate. Soon, the sleek luxury vehicle's presence expanded into entire evenings and early mornings parked within the privacy-walled confines only intended for the immediate Montecito Manor staff and security details. We're talking about one of the most conspicuous and recognizable automotive relics constantly coming and going on a nearly nightly basis. This gleaming forest green iconic 60s-era rolls with more tail fins than a desert diner, marveled neighbor Talmadge Griffin, a self-described RR enthusiast living 3 doors down from the feuding royals. Classic cars like that unmistakable vintage model simply don't exist in numbers to avoid standing out. And for one to be spotted at such odd hours continuously haunting Harry and Meghan's block, well, let's just say that piqued the entire community's interest for all the wrong reasons. According to Griffin, the peculiar Rolls-Royce pattern quickly generated widespread community gossip amongst the unincorporated township's notorious Oprah and Gwyneth Paltrow-led rumor mill circuits. It wasn't long before circumstantial sightings of an elderly chauffeur parked in the vintage ride for hours each evening corresponded precisely with hushed talk of Meghan's solo nighttime activities around the palatial estate grounds. And at least 2 separate longtime Montecito Manor housekeepers have now corroborated astonishing details of witnessing their own employer engaged in unmistakable romantic assignations with the mysterious mystery billionaire visitor, all completely hidden from Prince Harry's view behind the compound's privacy forest and 24/7 patrol gates. Madame Duchess was behaving quite, how you say, inappropriately with this elderly but very distinguished-looking gentleman whose appearance always precisely coincided with the vintage Rolls-Royce's arrivals each evening after Prince Harry had retired to his chamber, whispered one longtime Filipino housekeeper who insisted on remaining anonymous to protect her employment. At first it appeared only an innocent social call, one very wealthy-looking man in an impeccably tailored suit greeting Madame for tea or evening beverages outdoors. But soon it progressed into what I can only describe as unmistakable, physical intimacy and affections being very discreetly exchanged after nightfall once the Duke willfully dozed off. The staffer claims over at least 2 years' time she has borne repeated, intensely uncomfortable witness to the Duchess sneaking away under darkness to passionately couple with her elderly suitor amid the secluded manor's back gardens, scenic gazebos, and poolside guest cabanas, even at one point joining him unclothed for a skinny-dip tryst as palace security personnel claimed ignorance to their hidden affair. Just willful indiscretions that no amount of royal glamour should ever excuse, let alone from a duchess already generating global controversy for abandoning her marriage vows and obligations to the wider crown, the employee rebuked with simmering indignation. Madame carried on these dishonorable rendezvous in total disrespect and disregard for the home's other residents and her innocent children. Over time it metastasized into a genuine side-piece relationship of serial infidelity against the prince on both their parts. And despite all the staff's increasingly furtive whispers and telltale signs of the affair steadily escalating underfoot, Prince Harry himself seemed willfully oblivious to the entire arrangement taking form around him. According to palace confession leaks, he remained blissfully unaware his wife's trysts with the nameless billionaire had blossomed into full-blown overnight sleepovers, with the mystery senior making himself equally at home inside Meghan's personal poolside cabana quarters. There were certainly times during routine evening housekeeping services when I'd be straightening up only to notice the unmistakable aroma of fresh cigar smoke still wafting from Madame's private bungalow after the gentleman's car had departed, or small intimating hints like the 2 security disarming champagne glasses awaiting our wash staff, the staffer described. And yet the Duke remained totally ignorant to his wife's nighttime indiscretions right under his very privileged royal nose. While the Duchess' ulterior motives enabling her elder suitors unchecked access to the Montecito compound's innermost sanctums remain unclear, one glaring detail emerged as a prime suspect given her paramour's publicly reported status and interests: his overwhelming zeal for collecting and preserving rare antiquities, including priceless celebrity memorabilia and historical artifacts. Given Markle's well-reported personal obsession leveraging public figures through weaponized glamour, jewelry, and other baubles of international society cachet, sources say their initial rendezvous likely did begin innocently before escalating into dangerous intimacies. This American billionaire gentleman has a long cultivated passion for acquiring every type of prestigious bauble, keepsake, and conversation piece imaginable encompassing humanity's most fabled historical figures, explained one Buckingham Palace confidant with direct knowledge of the affair and its wide-reaching implications. It's a virtually unlimited collection he's poured multiple fortunes into amassing over decades, with amulets encompassing everyone from Marie Antoinette to Elvis and Marilyn. While we're only intimating possibilities at this stage, one can perceive how an opportunistic duchess on permanent personal branding sojourn could theoretically position herself as a powerful seductress leveraging intimacy with an elderly billionaire collector utterly besotted with Her Royal Highness' perceived cachet, whatever cost. According to the palace staffer, the bombshell romantic trances have already sparked an internal probe investigating what coveted royal antiquities or keepsake possessions may have potentially been discreetly acquired or grifted away from official crown property oversight and into the billionaire's private collectibles vault. They also revealed the aging mogul suitor's name and exact net worth figure remains judiciously unspoken within the monarchy's ranks to control any wider scandal from metastasizing until full evidence can be compiled. No specifics can be voiced at this early stage for security purposes. Just appreciate the magnitude of potential improprieties this lurid allegation implies in exposing the sovereign to potential disgrace, both figuratively and quite literally. But as the senior palace source insinuated, the troubling prospect of an errant duchess secretly misappropriating rare royal keepsakes or artifacts to satiate her billionaire lover's perverse procurement appetites already looms as a foremost theory driving heightened discretion while the probe unfolds. And already murmurs have spread behind palace walls murmuring, the Maltese Cross scandal, a reference to the 1967 movie mystery involving an ancient Knights of Malta artifact stolen and smuggled into the hands of a nefarious private collector. Whenever the lurid truth behind Meghan's clandestine affair does emerge, the consequences appear destined to drastically deepen the Windsor's escalating war against the feuding Sussexes. More legal dominoes could even threaten toppling their entire California expatriate enterprise should evidence surface of criminal property dispersions or espionage-grade betrayals of the Crown's most priceless confidences. This isn't some minor domestic squabble we're reporting. These are potentially high crimes against the realm of a magnitude warranting the most severe royal prosecution, the palace aide gravely concluded as attorneys ponder avenues for filing criminal theft charges if warranted. Any whiffs of unforgivable treason or profiteering against crown properties stand to leave the Montecito renegades extraordinarily exposed. Their dreary exile is poised for a very literal